was more than excited for season 3 of Abbott Elementary after it was delayed because of the strikes from last summer. I even read how this season will be a challenge for Quentin Bronson to write because the format of the last season was like a regular school year, but they couldn't do that this year because they lost half a season, therefore they lost half the school year, and they found a way to justify that. Basically, the supposed camera crew to make this show look like a mockumentary, their cameras got stolen during the beginning of the school year and didn't get it back until almost half the year. That was smart and creative. Now, this year, we see Janine improving herself, and I'm not just talking about her hair and wardrobe. I'm saying as a person, because she went from being a teacher to working at the school board and back as a teacher. She went on quite a journey with that alone. I do like how they experiment with character pairings and relationships. Like, I like how Jacob became Melissa Schmidt's roommate, to which they thought they would get on each other's nerves, but it turns out they're like two peas in a pod. I like how the bond between Janine and Miss Barbara was strengthening but also tested when Janine was trying to bring this library program and everybody was on board with it except Miss Barbara. And Janine had to stand up to her and tell her, look, I understand you don't like this because it's different and it's not what you're used to, but hey, you're going to have to get with the times because everybody's on board with it except you. And Miss Barbara does come around. Mr. Johnson always brings the laughs. Ava, just as annoying as she was in the previous seasons, and that doesn't mean I don't like the character, and I like Janelle James. She is a funny person. I just don't like characters that are written to be dumb, inept, or a nuisance to other characters or the plot of the episode. For example, Hilary Banks from the OG Fresh Prince, London Tipton from The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Now, I liked Tariq during the first 2 seasons, and I think the actor playing him is hilarious, but bringing him back this season just felt redundant. The first 2 seasons, I felt the character served a purpose, while also being funny, but here I felt they brought him back just because he was a highlight of the first 2 seasons. One episode that briefly hit me in the feels was the Mother's Day episode. In that episode, it is revealed that Gregory lost his mother at a young age, and Miss Barbara tries to cheer him up by inviting him to the house for a Mother's Day dinner. While he appreciated the hospitality, he did feel like her and her family was doing a bit much, so he left, and Miss Barbara realized what she was doing, found him at Top Golf, which is something he always does on Mother's Day. She had to realize that everybody agrees in their own way, and this was Gregory's way. But the most sobering thing he said was, I don't need Mother's Day to remember my mother and love my mother. And that hit me because my dad passed away 8 years ago, and me and my family deal with it on Father's Day in our own little way. But we don't always need Father's Day to always remember him, because the fact that he is no longer with us is enough. And lastly, finally, Janine and Gregory finally get together. This was a long time coming, and now I'm excited for what Quentin Bronson has in store for their relationship on the script level. This season did not spare no expense when it comes to the cameos. We got Kevin Hart, Keegan-Michael Key, Tatiana Ali, Questlove, Jalen Hurts, Brandon Graham, and Jason Kelce, who played for the Philadelphia Eagles, Bradley Cooper, Cree Summer. I enjoyed this season very much after I binge watched the first 2 seasons. I was happy to finally have some comfort food in the form of a sitcom, but I do feel like at a point the show started to lose a bit of momentum, and I think that is a combination of 2 things. The season being a little compromised because of all the strikes and all the breaks during the season. I feel like the second half of the season wasn't as strong as the first half. But hey, there are no strikes going, or right now at least, that I'm not aware of. But next year we're going to get a full season, and hopefully we get a season that is better than this one. Regardless, I still enjoy myself watching it, so I'm going to give Abbott Elementary Season 3 the thumbs up emoji.